So he's gotten his butt kicked.
That's right. And he's like, these ladies, these warriors aren't even super soldiers.
Mm-mm. Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody. How are you all doing?
If you're new here, my name's Kathy.
I'm Tom.
And we're the Marvelous Donohues.
Marvel heads, welcome.
Welcome. You know, I think I'm kind of getting used to that.
Are you warming up to that?
Just a little bit.
And speaking of something else, I'm just going to give you a secret. She's warming up to me wearing this shirt again. Oh. Well, 1 out of 2. Okay.
But I admire his commitment, people. Because now we're on episode 4. And he got me doing the fingers too.
That was a little contortion for y'all.
And he's still wearing it. So I admire his commitment to the cause, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier cause.
And if you're looking for the Falcon and the Snowman review, it's not this one.
It's not going to be.
But maybe one day.
See, I didn't even slip up this time, and he mentioned it. I did not slip up, okay?
I know you did. Timothy Hutton, if you're watching, we may do your movie.
Was he in that movie?
Yeah, he was. He was in that movie.
Okay.
Timothy Hutton.
All right. But getting back to who we are and
we digress.
We digress. We are, I'm going to go ahead and say it, the #1 review show of Marvel Disney Plus series in
the universe.
Which is also cinematic and otherwise.
Yes, and this is our opinion, strictly.
Right. and I'm going to even go one step further. All timelines.
All timelines. All dimensions, people. But welcome to our channel for our new viewers, and welcome back to the rest of you. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a shout out. You know to who, right?
I do. I think I do. Why'd you surprise me?
Surprise you. It's our shout out to our ESL viewers.
Buenos dias, bienvenidos, amigos.
Hello, konnichiwa.
Wow.
And kamsahamnida. I hope I'm getting that right.
You are still so trilingual.
You know what? I want to be polylingual, but I don't know. I'm going to try.
We are.
But welcome here. Again, to learn English by listening to us, and we're gonna have some fun today. We are.
And speaking of fun, I'm gonna get rolling into episode 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This was, I'm just gonna say, wild and crazy. To be honest with you, I would like to shout out to the Wakandan warrior princesses.
You keep calling them princesses.
I'll say I'll say Wakanda warriors.
Wakanda warriors.
They're ladies, but they're really tough ladies.
They are.
And fashionable. I wanted to give a little fashion critique. I like their Wakanda outfits. I don't know if you had any thoughts about that, but they are, and it's like an onion. We're gonna peel the onion a little bit more.
So he jumped ahead.
Some of the things that we're gonna talk about today. But I wanted to start with a shout out.
Yes, shout out to Wakanda women. And you know what, you guys? Speaking of that, if you want me to do some kind of food of Wakanda, we know it's not a real place, but
it's not?
I may do something like that. Something to have some fun with you guys.
I like that.
If you are watching us or following us, I keep forgetting to do this, on Instagram or Facebook, part of our Marblehead Facebook family, please tell us. Tell if you want to, go in there and look at my recipes. I'm going to start uploading the things that I like to cook. But
I was going to say, too, maybe if someone would like to be on with my wife as a guest cook.
Guest cook.
A guest Wakandan cook.
I guess Wakandan cook.
Please let her know, because she'll put you on, in a heartbeat.
I don't know about all that.
Maybe she'll interview you first.
Look, I gotta make sure everything's good. But we digress. Let's get back.
Yes.
Okay, let's bring it on back.
Yes. Wakandan. So the Wakandan warriors. So we're going to learn a little bit more about them today. And they start out by giving us a little thing about the white wolf, about the Winter Soldier, being, I call it deprogramming.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Getting de-worded, because remember, Zemo, didn't say Nemo, Zemo did the programming of the Winter Soldier, and they spent a lot of time deprogramming.
Yeah, they did.
They went back to that. They kind of gave, that was kind of the kickoff of the episode.
A little flashback, because this episode to me goes more into trying to find out a little bit about how they think, who they are.
Exactly.
And like Tom said, we're going to be pulling back the onion. And let's start with the Flag Smashers leader, Carly.
Yeah.
Can I start there?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'll start off with a second that they're talking about the Arsenal bombing.
Yes. But I got my notes, you guys. I got my notes. But we learn more about Carly, you guys.
We do.
She grew up without a family because her family was bleeped away. She grew up in the camps, and she was had a woman that helped her. What was the name? Mama Lucia or something. I know that might be
Donya.
Donya. They call it Mama Donya.
Yeah.
And she took in all the kids, and Carly was one of them.
Yep.
And she just talks about how it was in the camps, that she was scared until she met Mama Donya.
Yeah.
And I believe that Carly has this really altruistic side, but she is just.
And we talked about this in one of the other.
Yeah,
episodes.
she did. That she's just going about it the wrong way.
Right.
She thinks she has a just cause. She believes that her way, like the bombing that happened before, was to get people's attention, but she did, but in the wrong way. Yeah, they ended up doing the opposite of what she wanted them to do.
Right. In fact, they started to, then the people of the world started to re-legislate boundaries, re-legislate things that actually were starting to be more in line with what Carly really wanted, to have that borderless world.
So now they're not going to do that. They said, hey, listen, there's danger out there, so we're going to start securing the borders, putting up borders, the exact opposite of what she didn't want, which their motto is. And we'll keep coming back to this.
We will.
One world, one people.
Right.
And she doesn't seem to realize that her actions have consequences, and that's what we were talking about the last time, that she is still young.
She is still young.
She has this tremendous power, all of these people following her, and she has now a big hammer. We talked about the tools in your toolkit or your backpack. She has that hammer with the power, and she's like, listen, this is all they understand. This is what we're going to use it for.
Right. And actually, there's a parallel here that I kind of thought about, that Sam and Bucky's still, I guess, wrestling with Zemo about this is a means to an end. And in fact, Carly, she thought that her way was a means to an end.
Right.
Maybe she didn't say that, but that's kind of what she was thinking, And
I feel like that Carly and Zemo, because Zemo wants to kill all the supremacists. He wants to kill everyone that's taken that serum. And they're the same people almost. Because they believe the ends justify the means. And they're fighting each other, but they're the same person.
And in this episode, Sam still had empathy for Carly.
Yes.
I understand you're working through your pain, your loneliness. You have a reason. You want peace. But how you want peace is the thing that was a source of conflict.
Right, definitely. And Sam, during this conversation, because Sam has gone to the funeral, they found out Mama Donya died, and they've gone to this funeral because they know Carly would be there because she meant a lot to her. So Sam says, the world's not a better place when you're killing people. is just different.
Right.
You know, because Sam's trying to convince her that, you know, what she's doing is still wrong.
And peace is the way. Right?
Yeah, that, you know, and they're telling Sam again, Sam, you're too idealistic.
Right.
This isn't the way.
Yeah.
But Sam's seen so much death, including with the Avengers, but also, remember, he was a soldier too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
And, you know, even in that conversation, which I thought was interesting, you know, they're saying, hey, you know, people think you're a supremacist.
Yeah,
Carly.
she was like, no, I'm
Or
not.
you want supremacy. You're a supremacist.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, and has she become the people that she hates?
Yes. She is becoming those people.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is. She is. But what's happening with all this is there's still it's a race for the serum.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're still looking for that serum, you know, and
Yeah.
they go and they're you got, you know, Cap A, or we'll call him John Walker.
Yeah,
and
he can't be Cap A. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You could just say John
I'll
Walker.
say John Walker.
I know what you mean.
And you know, there's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of talk about the serum in this episode. That, you know, everybody, their inner spirit comes out with the use of that serum, and they even made that reflection against Steve Rogers. They're like, you know what? He was the only one that didn't corrupt his goodness,
right?
And that's going to be a
right.
central part in this episode we're going to talk
Right,
about in a little
right.
bit.
Speaking of John Walker, he is becoming more erratic.
Yeah.
So they're outside while Sam's inside talking to Carly. John Walker's out there pacing, rubbing his eyes. He's like, you know, he's
losing
it. Yeah.
And we start to see what I would say, we start to see more of John Walker, and we start to see the not just the peeling back of the onion, but it starts to shred, it starts to tear.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think about some of his thoughts, you know, and the things that he does, they start to send him into these like ruminations, and he's becoming obsessed with not being good enough and not being able to fight against these super soldiers,
right?
You know,
right. And remember the when we have the incident with, going back just a little bit, we have the incident at that safe house where, you know, you got Bucky and you've got Sam, and then you've got John Walker and Hoskins, and they're like, hey, we want Zemo and all this.
Oh,
and
no,
then,
this is going forward. This happened forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all right. This is forward. Go ahead.
Okay. And they say, hey, we want Zemo, you know, and we want the serum, and we're trying to find Carly.
Yes.
And all this. And the Wakandan warriors come
Bust
in. And they bust in, and they are kicking some, I'm just going to say they are kicking some butt.
They're warriors.
You know?
I mean, they surprising everybody, but I think that who was surprised the most was Bucky in that kind of surprise, because he, you know, they haven't had to fight those women.
Right.
You know, they have not had to fight those women, and those women weren't fighting to kill them.
Right.
They were fighting to teach them a lesson, but they also wanted Zemo, and they did something crazy.
They did do something crazy. They took Bucky's arm off. If you haven't seen the episode, stop now, go back, and then come back. We'll be here when you come back. But it took Bucky's arm off, and you know what I think was the genesis moment for the unraveling of John Walker was he got his butt kicked, and his mind, he's like, these ladies, these warriors aren't even super soldiers. And I think that for me, that seemed like I use the term genesis moment. This was a moment where he's like, you know, what's wrong with me, or what do I need to do?
Yeah. You
know.
So earlier that day, before Zemo, or after Zemo had thought he destroyed all the vials, he had picked one up.
Yep.
So
he being John Walker.
Yeah. John Walker had picked one up.
That's right.
So he's now drinking with his old buddy Hoskins.
That's right. Signing autographs. Remember, he's in the cafe signing autographs with girls or ladies or whoever they are.
And it's like, hey, you know, he casually asked Hoskins, well, if you had a chance to have the super serum, would you do it?
Yep. And Hoskins goes, yeah, I would.
Without any hesitation. And I think that was the clue for him.
Yep. I think that was the shopping for judges. I think that was, well, you know what? I've got the vial. He doesn't know I got the vial.
No.
But I've got the vial. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah. Even if Hoskins had been like saying that because he had no idea that he had it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So we move on to the next thing, and Carly's being crazy.
She is.
Calling
Sam's sister and saying, "Look, I want to meet with Sam. I'm trying to, work this out." But then she steps on it. She makes the vital mistake. She's threatening his family. She's like, "Well, I can always come over and see you at the harbor or see the kids."
Yes.
And that was it.
Look, Sam was like, I ain't having none of that. Because his sister, she called and she was like, Sam, look, you know what era I'm from, because I'm doing this and not this, okay? It was like, Sam, she just called and said she was coming in, threaten, kill me and the boys. So Sam's like, where Carly at? So they find Carly. Carly's in the church or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, this all kind of like a trick.
Right. Yeah, but by this time Sam's like done with her because you don't threaten a man's family.
You don't. And that's the only family he got left too.
Yeah.
But it's a setup. Carly set him up.
Yeah. So they go and they're having the big old fight. They're having this final fight, and they're trying to kill Cap A or John Walker in this case. And they accidentally they kill Hoskins.
Yes.
They kill Hoskins. And this is where the onion just kind of like totally broke open for John Walker.
Yeah, because he's taken the serum and
Sam notices it.
Sam's like, what have you done?
Yeah, he says, what have you done? He notices he's like jumping from like the 5th floor or something.
He's hitting this guy. And he's like, what have you done? He's like, oh, don't worry about it right now. They've taken Hoskins. I don't know, what's Hoskins' first name?
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway.
First sergeant or something. I don't know. We don't know what his real name is.
But they've taken him, and John is flipping out.
Yeah.
He is flipping out. Hoskins gets away, but he ends up coming into the middle of a super soldier fight.
Yeah.
And he is killed.
Yeah, he's killed. And, Carly killed him.
Yes.
But, John Walker, he's not having that because he just wants, what he wants? He wants blood.
He loses it.
He wants revenge and blood. And that's going to be a theme through this whole series. It's like, hey, what's going to happen?
Yeah. But we saw what happens, people.
Exactly.
And if you haven't watched it, turn us off right now and go watch it.
Exactly.
Because I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
Or Tom's going to tell you. Go ahead, Tom.
So John Walker jumps out of a window like 5 stories up, and he's running after pretty much any flag smasher he can get a hold of. But this flag smasher is very interesting because symbolic. Yes. Because if you remember earlier in the series, he's telling Carly, I really grew up. I loved Captain America. Yes. He was an idol to me.
Yes.
And this is very poetic, I think, because he's like, okay, I love this guy. And the very spirit, not the person, the spirit of Captain America that he loved actually comes and mercilessly kills him.
Yeah, not only kills him.
He's like, I didn't kill, Hoskins or whatever. Right. And he's like, but it's very symbolic. He takes the very shield that's the symbol of peace and justice and just, I can't say karate chop, but basically did some things.
He beheads him.
Yeah.
And which is the most gruesome thing that you can do.
Yeah, and then one of the final scenes is that, John Walker standing there with a shield. And never before have we seen this with Captain America, with anything in the series, movie-wise or anything, is there's blood on the shield. And, that was just so...
It was heinous.
Shocking and profound.
Yeah, it was heinous.
It was terrible,
people were watching and videotaping.
Yeah, and was streaming live for the world to see.
Yeah.
And actually, everybody was out in the courtyard watching.
Yeah.
Carly was out there and everybody else was out there too.
They were able to see it. But you guys, we have told you enough.
Wow. It's a lot to think about.
It is.
We're gonna check in next week when we look at episode 5.
Yeah, 5.
I was about to say 6.
No, episode 5, you guys. But
Yeah.
this one was very profound. Please comment.
Yeah.
Tell us what you thought
Exactly.
of the episode. Like and subscribe as usual.
And ring the bell, please.
Ring the bell. But we're so happy that you've joined us
Yes.
and you're a part of this Marblehead family.
Marble heads.
And I hope you're enjoying the ride. For now, that's about it.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Kathy. We're the Marvelous Donohues. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.